Now, I know everyone's saying this because it's the end of the year, but where did this year go? Like, honestly, this year's gone by so fast, which isn't really a bad thing because I've had an awesome year. I feel like as a photographer and a person, I've grown a lot this year. Like, from the start of the year, my photography style has changed a lot, I feel. And like I've experimented a lot with different styles of photography, and I've traveled a bit this year. Today, I want to show you guys and I want to tell you the story behind my favorite photo from each month, starting from January and ending up in this month, which of course is December. If you're new to my channel, my name's Liam. I'm a photographer based in Melbourne, Australia, and I pretty much just create YouTube videos showing you guys how to take photos, how to improve your photography, and just the behind the scenes of my shoots and all that sort of stuff. So if you like that sort of stuff, maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And also, if you like photography, I post all my photos on Instagram at 7th Era, so you can go follow that as well. Alright, so back to the photos. Month number 1, which was January. January was interesting because this was when I first bought my Sony, and going from a Nikon, which wasn't bad camera. It was alright. Anyway, Nikon's alright. But I moved to Sony, which it just completely changed my photography game. And I had heard about the low light capabilities of Sony, so I wanted to go trial them out, which is when I took this shot. It's in Chinatown, and there's this huge neon sign, and I thought it'd be a cool shot to get like a low angle. So I got my friend Mario, who's also a photographer. His name's @BornyandLad on Instagram. I got him to stand up on this ledge, and then I got a really low angle shot, and we sort of managed to fit in the whole neon sign. It was just a cool shot because as I was taking it, all these people were looking at us like, what are you doing? But we still did it despite all that sort of stuff. All right, February. So this shot here by far is my favorite shot from February. It's an aerial shot that I took. The thing that I love about this shot is that you can just see, it's sort of that time between sunset and nighttime when the city lights are sort of just starting to turn on. And I love to shoot that whenever I can, that time just as the lights are about to turn on. It turns out really well for photos, and I recommend you try that as well. Moving on to the next month of March. My favorite photo of March was by far this photo here, and it was of my friend Shalom, and I didn't really shoot that many models. Like at the start of this year, I wasn't really confident in shooting models. It was something new to me. It was a style of photography that I hadn't really delved into. But despite that, I had an idea, and I'd seen this yellow staircase before. When I saw it in person, I was like, that would be such a good photo to get someone standing there in red, because it would contrast really well and it'd make for a good shot. I should probably fill you in. This staircase is actually at a uni, and the time we went was during the middle of classes, so we were just taking photos, and there was all these people walking everywhere looking at us like, why are you at our uni taking photos? So that was pretty funny. And something really important that I learned about this photo shoot was the idea of execution. So I had an idea and I went out and did it. So if I could hand that back to you, if you have an idea for a photo, like it could be crazy, or you might think it's stupid, which it probably isn't, but you might think it is. Just go out and do it, because you'll feel really happy with yourself that you actually went out and just achieved something. Anyways, moving on to the next month of April. My favorite shot from this month was by far this shot that I took. I took this shot on the Eureka Sky Deck, which is the tallest building in Melbourne. For now, I think they're building one next door to it, which is going to be way taller. So at the time that I took this photo, it was the highest viewing point in Melbourne, but not for long, I don't think so. So looking at the shot, you might think that it's foggy and like maybe a foggy morning, or it's just a generally foggy day. But I actually just faded that in, and that's fully fake. None of that fog is real, and it was a really simple trick. I'll leave a video showing you how I did it just up here. Really easy, but it can give a really cool effect to your photos and make it look like it's a foggy morning. Yeah, what are we up to now? May. I think we're up to May. So May. My favorite photo that I took this month was this shot here. And it's a drone shot that I took over these trains. The funny story about this shot is that there's not actually trains there. There's 4 trains there, but I just photoshopped the rest in, and I filled them in. I changed the colors of them. I made some bigger and smaller just to make it look real. Because at the time I was flying my drone, and I was like, damn, this would be so good if this spot was full of trains. And then Mike looks over to me, he's like, bro, why don't you just Photoshop it? So I did go out and do that. I Photoshopped it, and yeah, I'm happy with how that one turned out. Next month, June. Next month is June. And this is a photo that I like the most out of this month. It was on a road trip that I did with Mike to the Black Spur, which we've been there quite a few times. And this shot was taken early in the morning, because at this specific location, when you shoot it in the morning, there's all this fog there, and it really can create a nice moody vibe to your photo. Plus there's really tall trees everywhere, so it's pretty hard to get a bad shot. But pretty much for this shot, I just got Mike, I just told him, I'm like, bro, can you just run? Can you just like run as fast as you can down there? And he was like, what? Like, why would I run? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just trust me, do it. And so then he did it, and then we got this shot, and he's like, yep, that's fucking sick. Moving on to July. So this photo here is an aerial shot, and it's my favorite photo from July because it's just, look at it. Like, it's a sunset over or sunrise. Actually, it was a sunrise over Melbourne, and the lighting was just perfect. I managed to get that sort of midpoint once again, like I was saying before, where the city lights are still on just before they turn off, before everyone gets up and all that sort of stuff. But that doesn't make sense. Why would people have lights on in the morning? I don't know. Either way, it's a cool shot, and it was my favorite from that month. The 8th month of the year, August. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, August is the 8th month. My favorite photo from this month was by far. I gotta stop saying that. I've said that every time almost. My favorite photo of this month by far. I like this photo that I took in August because it's a long exposure, obviously, but I managed to get the end of the tram, it's a really hard thing to do. If you've ever done it, trying to get the very end of the tram in a long exposure, it's harder than it looks. Because I timed this one pretty well because you can see that the lights just sort of sit at the top right of the frame. And then that's when I started the exposure, and then as you can see, they ended sort of in the middle of the frame, and it's created this nice dragged out long light trail, which looks really cool. I remember when we were taking this shot, I was with my friend Simon, who's also known as Uo on Instagram, and I was with Mike and Lamont, and we were all trying to get the same shot, all four of us. So there was literally like 4 tripods stacked on top of each other, and we were trying to get the same shot, but mine was the best, so don't worry about those other guys. Anyway, moving on to the next month. So September, S for September, S for street photography. That sounded a lot smarter in my head. I regret saying that. But honestly, this is my favorite shot of September. And it's probably one of my favorite street photos that I've ever taken. Hands down, full stop, full clip. No, but seriously, it's my favorite shot because it was actually out of focus, this shot. And what I mean is like, this guy was walking from the left of the frame. As he was walking towards the middle of the shot, I was shooting it and I was like, shit, it's out of focus because I had autofocus on it and it was focused on the center of the frame. And it was out of focus, he was walking, and then the second he stepped in the frame, my autofocus switched and I got this shot, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, how did I even manage to get it? So I guess you could say it's a lucky shot, but that's what half of photography is. It's just about going out. And the more times you go out, the more chances you will get to get a really good shot. Alright, so October. I was looking through my Instagram feed before I was creating this video. And this was a challenge because October was a month that I went to Tasmania and the start of my Japan trip. So there's just so many good photos in this month and it was really hard to choose. So I'm going to choose 2 photos. The first of the photos is this shot I took at Gordon Dam. And if you watch the vlog, me and Mike literally traveled 6 hours. We drove 6 hours in one day. Not even one day. It was like one afternoon. We traveled 6 hours just to get this one shot of the dam. But it was so worth it because I've literally never seen anything like this in my whole life. Like I've seen dams before, but nothing this big. Like if you can see this little dot in the image, that is like a tent with like 5 people under it. So you can get an idea of how big this dam really is. That vlog's up here and you can go and watch that. You can go and watch me and Mike travel 6 hours just to get the one shot. And my next favorite photo from this month is this shot that I took in Hakone in Japan. And just as I'm thinking about it now, I love traveling hours and hours just to get one photo because for this photo, I traveled 3 hours there just to get the one shot as well. It's a drone shot. To take it, I had to get, I had to get a bullet train to somewhere and then I had to get a normal train and then a bus. And then I had to walk a bit just to get this shot, but it was so worth it. And the lighting on that day was so perfect. It was so peaceful in the area as well. It was just a great shot and I was really chilled out. I was really relaxed whilst I was taking it because I was in Japan. Japan's just amazing. If you haven't been, save up and just go to Japan. Also, by the way, for this shot, the clouds are fake, so yeah. Second last month of the year, November, which was just last month when I was in Japan. This is sort of the end of my Japan trip. And I met up with my friend Priya and we took this shot. We went to this sort of gaming arcade that has this awesome entrance, which is this shot here, which looks like some sort of lava/water area. It's really hard, it's hard to describe, but as you can see, it's just amazing. Like, you wouldn't think that this location is where it is. Like, I did a vlog on it, I'll leave it up here, and when I was there, I just couldn't believe that this spot was where it was. It was literally backed out onto a car park, and then these two doors open, and then the spot's just there. So that was something really cool to experience, and if you're ever in Japan, definitely check it out. Oh, the last month, December, the month where I turned 20, and the month where I took this shot, which is probably one of my favorite nature shots I've ever taken. The reason why I think this shot worked out so well is because on the day, the lighting was literally perfect. Like, as you can see in the top sort of right-hand corner, the sun's just peeping through the trees there, and the contrasting colors as well of the orange and the green with the nature, it just worked perfectly. Everything sort of lined up that day. And when you have flares, you can't really get a bad shot. So I've got to stop doing flare photography. I've done it way too much, and it's just wasting my money. But whenever we do it, we always end up getting really good shots. So I don't know. But yeah, that is a wrap. That is all my favorite photos of this year, one of each month. And as you can see, from where I started in the year to where I finished now, my style sort of changed a bit. And I feel like the quality of my photos has improved as well. And that's just something that comes naturally with going out and shooting every day, because I shoot literally every day. And I want to hand that back to you. If you want to improve your photography, there's no shortcut. There's no amount of YouTube videos that you can watch. You could watch all of my videos and then just not do anything, and you won't improve your photography at all. But if you actually execute and go out and take photos, you'll see that even in 1 year, in the space of a year, you will improve so much. So with that being said and done, I just wanted to say thank you to you for subscribing to my channel, and just for following me on Instagram, and just supporting me as a photographer and someone who's just trying to do something different, because obviously I'm just starting out on YouTube and I love creating these videos, but it's a slow process to build the channel up. But I'm really enjoying the process. I enjoy filming these videos, connecting with you, and sort of learning about what you guys think of my videos and all that sort of stuff. I just really appreciate all the support that I've been getting, whether it's DM on Instagram or a comment on a YouTube video or on an Instagram photo. The support is just everywhere, and I really appreciate it. So with that being said and done, stay inspired, keep creating, and I will see you in 2019.